All right, as previously
Ms.
promised.
Johnson, can you come to the office, please? Ms. Johnson, please come to the office.
Here is a big video with all of those pages done, and we will go through it. There's the 125. The reference angle is 55. There's 285. The reference angle is 75. There's 40. The reference angle is 40. There's 205. The reference angle is 25. Alright, so in quadrant 2, cos equals x over r. So that is negative 2, that is 3. So this is the square root of 5. So sine equals root 5 over 3, and tan equals root 5 over negative 2. Quadrant 4, that is down there. Sine equals y over r. R is always positive. 3, negative 1. So that is the square root of 8. So cos equals root 8 over 3, and tan equals negative 1 over root 8. Tan of 3/5 in quadrant 3. Tan is y over x, so that's negative 5, negative 3. So that is the square root of 34. So cosine equals negative 3 over root 34. Sine equals negative 5 over root 34. And quadrant 3, negative 5, 8. So this is 64 minus 25, which is 44. This is root 39. So tan equals root 39 over 5, and sine equals negative root 39 over 8. Draw this angle, so 5 sine is positive 5/13. Could be there, 13 and 5. Could be there, 13 and 5. This is 12, negative 12, that is positive 12. So cos is either negative 12 is plus or minus 12/13. Theta, shift sine of 5/13 equals 23 degrees, 23, but this is also 23, so it's and 157 degrees. Cos theta equals negative 1/3, so that's going to be there or there. 3, negative 1, 3. So shift cos of negative 1 divided by 3 is 109.47. So 109 is right there, 109. That makes this 71, which makes this 71, which makes this 180 plus 71, which is 251. Moving along to the sine and cosine law assignment. A stranded tourist floats for 40 miles at a bearing of 300. Well, 40 miles, 300. 90, 180, 270, 300 for 40 miles. What are the components of the tourist displacement from the beach? Well, that would be right there, right? So I went north and west. How far each of them? Well, if this is 270 and I went 300, this must be 30, so this must be 60. So I have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, yes? This should be 2 in a 30, 60, 90. This would be root 3, and this would be 1. This is 20 times bigger, so I went 20 miles north and 20 root 3 miles west. Find length of side x. There's your pair. Sine 65 over x equals sine 30 over 5. 5 sine 65 divided by sine 30 equals x. X equals 9.1. Triangle ABC. A, B, C. A is 17 meters. Angle A is 77 degrees. B is 28 degrees. And C is 16. Find the measure of B right here. Well, there's a pair. Does this even help us? No. Sine of 77 over 17 equals sine 28 over B. 17 sine 28 over sine 77 equals B. B equals 8.2. Park area. Determine the lengths of the other two sides. Well, that means I need x and I need y. But I can't seem to do it because I got no pair there, I got no pair there, and I got no pair there. But I do have a pair there because that is 180 minus 56 minus 32, which equals 92 degrees. So now I can do it. Sine of 92 over 251 equals sine of 32 over y, and it equals sine of 56 over x. So 251 sine 32 divided by sine 92 equals y, and 251 sine 56 divided by sine 92 equals x. Y equals 133.11. X equals 208.2. Determine the area of the park. Well, area of a triangle is base times height. Base times height divided by 2. Well, I know the base is 251. The height, I know, is a Q, isn't it? And I know that this side is 133.1, and this is 56. And I know that Q is 133.1 times sine 56, and then divided by 2. $13,848.29. How far is it across the marsh? Well, no pairs, so I got to use cosine law. Since this is the side I need, I make it c. C squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. 47 squared plus 38 squared minus 2 times 47 times 38 times cos 65. C squared, and then C equals the square root of that. So C equals 46.3 meters. So a plane travels for 15 kilometers on that heading. So I'm going to use dotted lines. Actually, I'm going to use highlighter lines. 110. Where's 110? Right here. Then turns south 40 degrees. Oh, I drew this badly. All right. We'll start up here. Highlighter lines are no good. So this is 110. Turns south 40 degrees, so the plane should keep going this way. But it turns to the south 40 more degrees. And then travels for 20. How far is the plane away? Well, if this is 40, what's the other side of that straight line? 140. And there is my cosine law. If this is 110, all the way to here, then this is 20 degrees. Right? No, I don't know why I've got a degree there. So, but I don't even need that. I screwed that up because we know he flew 15 kilometers there. So I got 15, 20, and 140. So this is C. C equals the square root of 20 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 20 times 15 times cos 140. .9 km. A triangle measures 16 25 by 14. Find the smallest angle. Where would the smallest angle be? It would have to be right there across from the smallest side, so that makes that C. Cos C equals C squared minus A squared minus B squared over negative 2AB. 14 squared minus 16 squared minus 25 squared over negative 2 times 16 times 25.
To the office, please.
Degrees. Because at the end, of course, you need to shift cos, because this is getting you cosine C. And lastly, we'll go through this review. Those are my coordinates, so that is negative 8, that is 6, which makes this 10. So sine equals 6/10. Cos equals negative 8/10. Tan equals negative 6/8. Of course, you would simplify all those to 3/5, negative 4/5, and negative 3/4. Marco is a little bit away from the park.
Sussman Sadu, please come to the office. Sussman Sadu, to the office, please.
450 for Marco. Ray is 450 down here. Well, if they're the same, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So the distance between the two boys must be, this should be 45, 45, 90. So there's the 90 degrees. So this must be the same as if I had 1 and 1. That would make this the square root of 1 squared plus 1 squared, which is the square root of 2. So this must be the square root of 2, but it's 450 times bigger. So it's 450 root 2. Cos is 1/9. Cos is positive, so it has to be here or here. There's the 1. There's the 9. What are the possible values of theta? Shift cos of 1 divided by 9 equals 83 degrees. Oh, I lie, 84, because it rounds up. 84 degrees, so that's 84, and that's 84. Sorry, I'll use a different color. Green, 84. So the answers are 84 degrees and 360 minus 84, which is 276. All right, 5, 7, negative 5, positive 7. That is A. So sine equals, this is the root of 74. So sine equals 7 over root 74. Cos equals negative 5 over root 74. And tan equals 7 over negative 5. That's A. B, same sign, but different signs for the other two. Well, that must mean it's out here, because B sign still has to be positive. So this is 5, this is 7, this is root 74. So now I have sine of B is still 7 over root 74. Cos is now 5 over root 74. And tan is now 7/5. Use a calculator to determine them both. So C, shift sine, I would just use tan so I don't have to worry about the square root. Shift tan of negative 7 divided by 5 equals going to give me 54.4. So we'll round that off to 54. So this is 54, and this is 180 minus 54, which is 126. Determine the two angles that have a sine ratio of negative 1/2. I don't know why that blank's there, but it's pretty easy. Negative 1/2 has to be down here. There's the 2, there's the 2, there's negative 1, there's negative 1. So it's shift sine of negative 1/2 equals negative 30. So that's 30, and that's 30. So it's 210 and 330. Consider an angle. Cos is positive. Where must it be? Well, it must be there at 12 and 13, or there at 12 and 13. So A, it is in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4, because cos is positive. B, if the sine is negative, it must be in quadrant 4, because sine is positive in quadrant 1. So C, we want to sketch this, so we're going to erase that one. Find the coordinates of a point on the angle, on the terminal arm. Well, I know this is 12y, and I know that y, oh, there's the diagram, D. I know that y will equal 13 squared minus 12 squared square root, which is 169 minus 144, which is the root of 25, which is 5. So since it's down, it has to be negative 5, so the coordinates are 12, negative 5. And write exact expressions. E sine equals negative 5 13ths, and tan equals negative 5 12ths. Determine the length of E, right there. Lily! Sine 75 over 8.2 equals sine 58 over little e. 8.2 sine 58 over sine 75 equals little e, which equals 7.2. Find theta. Sine 54 over 5.2 equals sine theta over 5.4. 5.4 times sine 54 divided by 5.2 equals sine theta.
Thank you.
Then I will shift sine of sine theta. 57 degrees. Determine D. That is a cosine law situation. Since I need D, I'm going to make that little c, so that makes that big C. C squared equals 8.6 squared plus 12.0 squared minus 2 times 8.6 times 12 times cos 55. Then, of course, C equals the square root of all that. .97. So not 9.98. Find theta. Since that's theta, I make it big C, which makes that little c. Cos of big C equals c squared minus a squared minus b squared over negative 2ab, which equals 24.6 squared minus 27.6 squared minus 23.4 squared over negative 2 times 27.6 times 23.4 cos squared minus 27.6 57 degrees. Salvage vessel locates a sunken ship directly below it. The angle of depression from the salvage. So there's the water. There's the bottom of the ocean. There's the boat on the bottom of the ocean, and it is 143 meters long. The boat up top has an angle of depression of 29.3, 47.5. If that's 29.3, this is 29.3. That's 47.5. This is 47.5. And now I know this to be 180 minus 29.3 minus 47.5. .2. So then I just do sine law. Sine of 103.2 over 143 equals sine of 29.3 over x. So 143 sine 29.3 divided by sine 103.2 will equal x. Once I know x, then this q right here is sine of 47.5 would equal q over x. Well, that means there's my x. Just put them down. When I do all this math, I get this to be 53 meters. And the last question before the bell rings. Start at Centerville. I go east for 13. I make a 135-degree turn. Well, that means I go this way 135 degrees till I am heading northwest, which is up there, which makes that 45. There is Northcote, and I go back here. This is 18. So then I do cosine law, making this big C, because I need the third side. That's little c. C equals the square root of 13 squared plus 18 squared minus 2 times 13 times 18 times cos 45 equals
Okay, so
13
Sam
squared
that we made
plus
a really bad
18
joke with Dr. Pepper. He said, look, 100
times
milligrams sodium, but no pepper.
Uh,
So I smacked the bottle up, it went all over. So he put it on me and I looked like a pea.
12.73.
Good thing I got some context.
So to do A, it's 12.73 plus 18 plus 13 equals
That's pretty sad. It was like, bro, come on.
43.7. And what are the angles? B. Once you have that at 12.73, you do sine law. I'm running out of room. I'll do sine law up here. Sine of n over 13 equals sine 45 over 12.73, which equals sine c for down here over 18. Then you just do the math, and n equals 44 and c equals 89 or 46 and c equals 89, and then you're done.